Well, a couple more dry days to help soak up some of our rain from Friday before we have more rain on the way by the middle of the week. A foggy start again to our Monday, but a dry and warm day with a mix of clouds and sun as temperatures climb into the low 70s this afternoon. We'll dip it back down into the mid-50s overnight with low 70s for our Tuesday, but another super soaker of a system on the way by Wednesday, and even some of that rain lingering into Thursday. That's your forecast from the WSIC Weather Center. I'm meteorologist Chase Myers.
For 42 years, Johnson's Parts and Supply has been your Auto Plus auto parts store. When you need auto parts, think Johnson's Parts and Supply. Your Auto Plus auto parts store, 1112 Shelton Avenue, Statesville.
Whatever the story,
we have to end our dependence on China.
Your say.
This debt crisis is going to set our economy back big time.
This is WSIC News Talk Now. The following is a paid program and does not necessarily reflect the views of WSIC.
All systems are a go.
Ladies and gentlemen, hold on to your seats. Taking Care of Iredell with North Carolina State Representative Jeff McNeely is about to begin. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Good morning, Iredell County. Good to be here this morning. Looks like I thought it was supposed to be a better day than today, but it's turned out kind of misty and this and that and the other, but that's all right. Lots of work to do. Got to get everything set up for the different polling places that we're allowed to actually electioneer at, which means be able to actually talk to the voters that come by and maybe hopefully answer any questions. Going to be all kind of different places tomorrow. I think there's 13 of them that I can actually be at or have people at. So it's going to be a busy day. Starts at 6:30 and ends at 7:30. So you've got time. You've still got time. Those who haven't voted, figure out where your voting place is. You can go on your Iredell County website and go to elections and find it. You can actually do your North Carolina State Board of Elections, NCSBOE, and put your name in their voter search, and it will tell you where you vote at. So a lot of different ways to find out where to vote. Some of the places have changed. I do know we're using the Ag Center on Bristol Drive, and I don't think we've used that before. So that's a new one, and I'm trying to think if there's any other out there, but that's probably about it. But anyway, got a good show today. Going to take calls first part, and then I've got the seer of all seers, the prognosticator of all prognosticators, the man from the West with the vision, the dude with the attitude, Representative Jason Sane is going to call in, and we're going to talk more mostly just the statewide, federal and statewide ballots, because it's hard to know some of these people if you don't interact with them, and fortunately me and Jason have interacted with a lot of them, so we know them well, and maybe can give you a little insight, and that might help you decide your vote, how you want to go. Hopefully we'll give you wise counsel. So just hang tight, and we'll have him on the second part of the show, talk about the different races that are state and federal that's going to be on the ballot for you to vote. Hey, if you'd like to call in, you can still use the old number, 704-873-1400, but the new number, and you may want to write this down, stick it in your phone, because it's probably going to be the main one, and that one will go away eventually, 844-788-3464. And I know that sounds a little different with that area code, but this is going to one of those things we call it computer generated. So 844-788-3464. All right, and that's the number to call. We'd love to hear from you. You can use the old number. I think it's still good for today and probably for a couple more shows, but eventually it's phasing out. The old number, 704-873-1400, if that makes you feel better. Let's just talk a little bit about what's going on in the national political front right now with Donald Trump, President Trump, former President Trump, and Nikki Haley. Actually, Nikki Haley won a primary over the weekend. Now, let's talk about that a little bit. She won the D.C., District of Columbia primary, and probably about 5% of the voters in the D.C. District of Columbia area are Republicans. Now, you know, a lot of us here that are conservative don't know if we really got any Republicans in D.C., whether they can vote there or not. But hopefully we're sending some here pretty shortly. But anyway, she won. Took 3 days. They did it at a hotel. You just came by and placed your vote. But got to understand, these are the moderate of the moderate of the moderate. So kind of weird. And then I hear them all the time talking right now, a lot of the people, especially on the other side of the aisle, say, well, she's getting 25% at least every time. And she got 40 in South Carolina. And but she got handily beat this weekend in Michigan, Missouri, Idaho. So I'm not even going to say that D.C. was actually a true primary, but for whatever, she wants to hang her hat on that. So the president's winning usually, and she's averaging about 25%. The uptick I felt like in South Carolina was something that I'm seeing. She got 40. Now, it was her home state, and she was governor there for a while. So they'll say it's the Al Gore effect. If you can't win your home state, you got issues. And Al Gore would have been president, but he couldn't win Tennessee from where he was from. So, that tells you a lot right there. And Nikki Haley couldn't win South Carolina, but she did do a good show. But one of the things that I did see happening in South Carolina, and I think it's happening across the country, and it may be something we have to look at, and it's happening here in Iredell, in my opinion, in Iredell County. You've got a lot of things going on where people are moving from one party to either unaffiliated or the other party, especially at primary time. So, do we got a caller? We'll go ahead and take it. We got time, don't we, Joe? Let's go ahead. We're going to put them on. Hey, this is Representative Jeff McNeely. Who we got?
Hey, Jeff, William here. Just wanted to wish you good luck tomorrow in the polls. Went by the one in Statesville Saturday, and there was a good crowd standing out there.
Busy.
And I don't know what the polls are now, but the ratings, it was like almost 500,000 that had voted so far in North Carolina. I'm sure it's probably exceeded that now. Hopefully in November it'll be a lot more. I think a lot of people are waiting until the day of.
Well, and that becomes kind of a strategy, I believe, of the conservatives is to do it on voter day. So it's hard to figure out who will not vote. So absentee ballots don't show up all of a sudden.
Yeah.
So it's a plan, and I get it, and I'm not saying it's a bad plan. So I feel like North Carolina we're a little more safer than many, but that don't mean we're completely safe. So it's not a bad strategy. I look for a big turnout tomorrow. I think the weather's going to be decent, so that shouldn't be an excuse.
Yeah, early voting. I didn't know this until I researched it and then talked to Vicki Sawyer a couple weeks ago, and we found out that early voting actually was established back in the 70s. I didn't realize it had been that long. And the reason, I guess, one of the reasons being is that a lot of people would be out of country, so to speak, and couldn't vote, so they just started the early voting thing to get that accomplished while those folks were out of country and couldn't vote the day of. I'm sure there was probably other reasons why they created it, but I didn't realize it had been around that long.
Yeah, it actually, I think back then you had to go to Raleigh though and actually go to the actual state board of elections, pull your ballot there and do it, or get an absentee ballot and fill it out and get your thing, but you could vote. So it started like that, but then it morphed, and now it's in all 100 counties. So I think, in my personal opinion, it's too long. It's a very expensive process for the state. I mean, we went, I think it was 17 days. And 8 o'clock in the morning till 7:30 at night, and we kind of kept a running poll up at the Board of Elections. I told the ladies, I said, let me know how many comes in after 5. Let me know how many comes in after 6. And after 5, there was still a decent trickle in. But after 6, it was like nobody. I'm talking, we would, for the hour and a half, we may get 3-4 people tops each night, tops. And so I feel like we could probably utilize our money better by maybe just moving it back up to 6 o'clock instead of 7:30 at night.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just me talking, trying to figure out how to do this most economical. So.
Right. Well, every we're all trying to pinch pennies here, Jeff. So every little bit would help, But yeah, the other encouraging news, I'm sure you've heard that Donald Trump, on the national side of it, not the individual states, but on the national Congress side of it that his
Hey,
name is not.
William, we got to go to a hard break. Hold with me. We'll talk.
We'll have more taking care of Iredell.
Hey, William, still there?
Yeah.
Hold with me through the break, and we'll pick you back up. Had to do that hard break at 11:15.
I got you. Got to go sell some Toyotas.
Hey, you darn right. Got to pay the bills around here. So just hold with us, and we'll pick you back up when we come back in. So just give me about 2 minutes or less. Yep. All right. Cool.
This afternoon, we'll dip it back down into the mid-50s overnight with low 70s for our Tuesday. But another super soaker of a system on the way by Wednesday, and even some of that rain lingering into Thursday. That's your forecast from the WSIC Weather Center. I'm meteorologist Chase Myers.
Here is your WSIC community calendar. MuralFest is back, April 25th through the 28th at Wilkes Community College, featuring nearly 100 performers, including Old Crow Medicine Show, Sam Bush, Turnpike Troubadours, the Teskey Brothers, Nickel Creek, and more. Tickets and information at muralfest.org. Listen each morning to Good Morning LKN for your chance to win tickets. Coin collectors, get ready! The Statesville Coin and Currency Show is coming to the Statesville Civic Center March 16th and 17th, featuring over 60 tables of some of the finest coins around. For more info, contact Bill Brewer of Carolina Prospectors in Statesville. The Statesville Coin and Currency Show, Statesville Civic Center, March 16th and 17th. Eagle Rentals in Statesville is celebrating you and the wonderful community they serve. Come to Eagle Rentals Customer Appreciation Day, March 16th from noon until 4 p.m. Fun for the whole family. Kids and adults are welcome. Eagle Rentals Customer Appreciation Day, March 16th, 3435 East Broad Street in Statesville. Want to see a Tyrannosaurus Rex? How about a Triceratops? Dinosaur World Live is coming to Kane Center for the Arts, Friday, March 29th. That's not the only fun family adventure coming to the Kane Center for the Arts. Dinosaur World Live, Friday, March 29th. For tickets and to see the entire spring lineup, visit canearts.org. That's CAIN arts.org. Have an event you would like to tell people about? Yard sales, estate sales, and everything in between? Visit WSICnews.com and click on events to submit your event today.
Hey, this is Jeff McNeely, owner of G&M Milling Company in beautiful downtown Lowray. We at G&M hope you come by and see us for all your livestock needs. We stock feeds for all kinds of animals and hay too. We also have seed for a wide variety of forages for your animals. So come on by 4000 Taylorsville Highway, Statesville, or call us at 704-873-5758. We're worth the drive. Thank you again for supporting small family-owned businesses. God bless.
Taking care of Iredell continues. Here's your host and Representative Jeff McNeely on 105.9, 100.7 WSIC.
All right, back here for the second. I got to do a new guitar lick. I got to work up on that. I'm getting on, but anyway. Hey, got William, I think, still on the line. Is William with us? Hey, William, you still there?
10-4.
Hey,
yep,
man, lost you there. You was talking about Trump, I believe, when we took off there and had to go pay the bills.
I know. I get it. WSIC's got to go sell some Toyotas for Randy Marion or something, you know.
Feed for G&M Milling. Anything. Yep.
Yeah, right. That's right. We got to support your farm place up there in North Iredell. I guess it's Iredell.
Well, yeah.
Alexander County.
No, we're still in Iredell, beautiful downtown Lowray. Yep.
Yeah, I couldn't remember where the line stopped up there. I know it's getting close to Alexander County up there. But no, I was just going to say for any Trump fans out there like myself, this was a little bit of good news that he won the court battle, that they can't take his name off the docket. And
yeah.
I think we kind of knew that before that took place, but individual states still could probably do it. But I don't know how much of a difference that's going to make, to be honest with you. Maybe you can put in some insight on that.
Yeah.
I don't know.
At the end of the day, what he doesn't win in primary, he will win in the convention. And I will be curious to see if Nikki stays in after Super Tuesday, after tomorrow. I mean, if she takes a defeat in every one of them, I can't see her going forward just wasting money. She made us leave her name on the. She made us leave her name on the ballot and do whatever. DeSantis is still on there, and some of the other ones that are gone too. So
I admire her for wanting to still stay in it and try to fight, but why didn't she do that when she was up there in D.C. the first go around?
I get you. I get you.
But,
what I was going to talk about. What I think I saw in South Carolina. You saw a lot of Democrats move over to unaffiliated because we have what's called. And we have it in North Carolina, they have it in South Carolina, they have it in most states where they allow the unaffiliated to vote in either a Republican or Democratic primary. They can go in and choose their ballot and go mark it. And so it gives them an option of both sides. But
right.
I sometimes wonder if we're not getting invaded, and especially in conservative counties like Iredell. I know since the first of the year, I talked to them down there because I was seeing people take information, but I thought was kind of surprising that they were taking information at the polls. We'll just put it that way, just because I know them, good people, but I kind of know them and know their history, like they know mine. And so I looked up some just to see, and a lot of them had changed. And I talked to the ladies there, and they said since the first of the year, over 200 Democrats had changed to unaffiliated. And over 100 Democrats had changed from Democrat to Republican. Now, maybe
right.
maybe they seen the light. I don't know. But I said, well, what about the other way? And she said, well, we've had 6 Republicans change to either unaffiliated or Democrat in that same time period. 6.
Oh, wow.
So,
wow. Yeah. Well, people are just fed up, Jeff. People are just sick and tired of this garbage that's been going on, and I think they want to try to make a stand about it. I know. I'll speak for myself. I'm the same way. We got to get this thing turned around, Jeff. We got to, because it's for our future. It's like they buried that young lady down there in Georgia Friday, and I told Todd Starnes, I said, look, I'm going to vote for her and her family.
Mm-hmm.
And myself and the rest of the people in America, because that's what we've got to do. And, that what happened to her should have never happened. And her story is like a lot of stories that we probably never hear about. But, it's good that we heard about that. Unfortunately, she lost her life. She's with Jesus now. But I worry and concerned about all the rest of the young ladies in college and that are affected by this crime that was committed by that gentleman
who should have never been here.
To be nice on the radio, I've got other names for that man, but
should have never been here.
Call him a gentleman at this point.
Should have never been here.
But yeah, I mean, I can go on and on and on. But anyway, I just wanted to wish you luck.
Thanks,
Hope
sir.
everything goes all right, and we can get you back up there in the 84 house.
Well, like I said, I hope so. I'm sometimes wondering if they're trying to take a conservative voice out. We'll see. We'll see if I can withstand the challenge. We'll see.
Right.
Thank you, William.
All right. Well, you take care, and we'll be in touch, okay?
All right. Appreciate you. All right. We're going to catch another caller. All right. Who we got? Let's see. Hey, this is Representative Jeff McNeely. Who we got here?
Hello, Jeff.
Hey, Joyce. I ain't heard from you in a long time.
I haven't been feeling good, but we voted. Me and my husband voted.
Okay, good deal. Good deal. I'm proud of you. I'm proud of that. Exercise that freedom. You may not have it for long, so you better get it.
Well, I voted Donald, and I was wanting to know if Nikki Haley, drops out.
Not yet. She's still hanging in there. That's what I was just talking about. After tomorrow, with as many different primaries that are going to come up, and she doesn't win any, I don't see a path for her to go forward, other than just to be the thorn.
Is Biden going to still try to go for president?
Oh yeah. There's nobody running against him. The Democrats fixed it where there's no primaries really for him. He's the only name on the ballot.
If we get him again, I want him. I don't know what to do. I don't.
We got to keep praying, dear. We got to keep praying.
Okay, Jeff. I'll talk to you later.
All right, you take care, sugar. See you. All right. Like I said, just wondering. It seems like some unusual statistics here in Iredell County, but seeing it all over maybe the nation. A lot of red states seem to be their rolls seem to be growing in their primary. I don't know, like I said, I don't know if a closed primary is what we need in conservative places, or I'm not sure. We want to have a big tent. We want to invite all. But we want them to also come with the same ideology. So we'd rather have a conversion than an invasion. So I guess we'll wait and see how things shake out here in North Carolina in the primary, and we'll kind of get an idea of where to go forward. And I don't know if I'm going to pronounce this name right. Alexei Navalny, the Russian. I hope I didn't slaughter it too bad, Joe. Anyway, was killed the other week, suspiciously. We got to call her. Let me finish this real quick, see if I got time. Anyway, was killed real suspiciously in a Russian prison. He was, poisoned once. Anybody that speaks up against Putin seems to have trouble. You had Prognosian got killed when he went to visit him after the kind of a coup he pulled and plane crash. So, kind of like the Clintons almost. So is it a coincidence in all these? Putin is a ruthless killer. And don't ever forget that. So you can't have him as an ally. I don't know what you can have him as other than an enemy. Let's take the caller. Are they still on? Yeah, let's take them. Hey, this is Representative Jeff McNeely. Who we got?
Yeah, Jeff. The school issue in question in Iredell County, and in my humble opinion, I've been here all my life. Well, Charlotte primarily. I'm living in Mooresville now. Is uncontrolled growth, which is one of the main reasons I got out of Charlotte. And with uncontrolled growth, I don't have to tell you what that will bring. And certainly in the southern part of the county, that's what we got.
Yeah.
And also this question of $100 million and $200 million in one school now. This country was built on relatively modest school structures. The quality education, I think, rests in, first of all, the home, and then the quality of the instructors that are in the school, not $100 or $200 million school buildings. And all these people pouring in here, the question of impact fees, I keep hearing that. The people coming in and all these businesses, they're the ones that should be funding these schools, not people who have been here 4 or 5 generations. There needs to be a larger gap for your home you live in. Let's say the first 200,000 or 300,000 should be exempt from property taxation, especially for capital school buildings. So that's all I'm going to say. Uncontrolled growth is going to take the quality of life away from this community.
Well, and I'm not going to disagree with you for the fact that it's eating up farmland, and I've done my damn gumness for the last 24 years to try to preserve the farmland as much as I can, and it's coming fast. It was kind of creeping, but after COVID, we evidently we're on sale. There's a blue light special for all y'all old people that remember Kmart. So, we've got to figure out what we can do. Impact fees, every time they've been imposed, go to court. They throw them out. It's the freedom to be able to sell your land, and so in the taxation part of that, I don't have a problem with them. I just know it's not feasible through the courts. They've been defeated time and time again. But there are other things that we can do. There are other things we can look at. Building permits. We can look at. And I don't like to get into the size of lots. Some areas might need more, so you get more green space of the county. And so a lot of that has to do with land planning, how we're going to go about it. I even want to look at different things out there. I'm working on something on the farmland preservation side where we look at the look-back tax. So we're working on some stuff, but there's no silver bullet, as we would say, or no golden chalice. To acquire.
I'm afraid the quality of education is equated to shiny, new, massive, complete with art school buildings, and I'm sorry, but it doesn't work that way.
Well, I agree.
The politicians have fooled the public that if we put up a giant, brand new school facility with swimming pools and artwork outside, your kid's going to get a quality education. This country wasn't built on that, Jeff.
No.
And my next move is going to be further away and out, Apparently, I didn't come far enough away from Charlotte yet.
Well, we're hoping we can do it. All right, appreciate you. Hey, we're getting ready to go to our mid-show break here, so stay with us. Got Jason Sane coming on. We're going to talk politics.
We'll be back with more of NC Representative Jeff McNeely and Taking Care of Iredell after this short break on 105.9, 100.7 WSIC.
Well, a couple more dry days to help soak up some of our rain from Friday before we have more rain on the way by the middle of the week.
Here's the first one.
Yep, got him.
Here's the second one.
Hey, you still there? Hello.
Oh, yeah, I'm here.
Hey, this is Representative Jeff McNeely. We'll just take you in the middle here. I can't get you on the show. So, who we got?
Oh, this is Sam. I'm calling in.
Oh, cool. All right, it's Sane. All right, he's on a different line now or something. All right, hold tight, brother. Didn't recognize
Is there
you.
a better line for me to call? That's the only one I had. I can call in the other line.
It's okay right
Yeah, it's fine. It'll be fine. All right, just hold tight here about a minute and a half, brother. All right.
Okay.
We'll get you in.
Cool.
See you.
Thanks.
Shelton Avenue, Statesville.
Hey, this is Jeff McNeely, owner of G&M Milling Company in beautiful downtown Lowray. We at G&M hope you come by and see us for all your livestock needs. We stock feeds for all kinds of animals and hay too. We also have seed for a wide variety of forages for your animals. So come on by 4000 Taylorsville Highway, Statesville, or call us at 704-873-5758. We're worth the drive. Thank you again for supporting small family-owned businesses. God bless.
Hello everyone, this is Joshua Doby, president of North Main Financial Group. At North Main Financial Group, we move to where you need us. Investment management, insurance planning, and estate strategies. No two people are the same, so we customize our planning based upon your needs. Reach out to us at northmainfinancial.com. That's northmainfinancial.com.
Happening now at Randy Marion Ford Chevrolet in Statesville.
How about a new car, truck, or SUV? What a better way to start 2024 than at Randy Marion Chevrolet in Statesville. Randy Marion Ford Lincoln taking advantage of a special purchase of 2023 Mazda CX-30s. These are the carbon editions starting at $24,770. You pick the color. Here today, Randy Marion Chevrolet in Statesville, Randy Marion Ford Lincoln. We have got the king of price deal. Like always, 2024, come see them today.
This is a Bloomberg Money Minute. Apple has been slapped with a $2 billion penalty following allegations that it shut out music streaming rivals, including Spotify, from its platform. The European Commission, the regulatory arm of the EU, also is ordering Apple to stop preventing music streaming apps from informing users of cheaper deals away from Apple's App Store. Apple said it will appeal the European Commission's decision, which sets off a legal battle that could last years. Boeing's European rival Airbus may be joining the U.S. company with some concerns about some of its aircraft. Media reports say Vietnam Airlines is grounding 12 of its Airbus narrow-body jets due to issues linked to their Pratt & Whitney engines. The affected A321neo jets are being parked on the request of the engine maker. The grounding time for an airplane could be up to 300 days because of global aviation industry supply chain disruptions. Wall Street's indexes flat to lower right now. Dow losing 0.25%, NASDAQ down almost 0.25%, S&P 500 little changed. Andrew O'Day, Bloomberg Radio.
Now more Taking Care of Iredell with North Carolina Representative Jeff McNeely on 105.9, 100.7 WSIC.
All right, back here for the second part of the show. We're going to see if we can get our guest. He's on the line. Bring him in. Is this the soothsayer from the West, the man with the plan, the dude with the attitude, the great prognosticator of all time, Representative Jason Sane? Is this him on the line?
You have got the great Karnak, and may your Perrier water be secretly bottled in Tijuana.
Sometimes it tastes like that. Although I haven't drank Perrier. I did see some the other day, though. I hadn't drank that. And, anyway, well, we talk all the time politics. We do. We talk all the time politics. And a lot of people have asked me, who do I need to vote for on this, the federal and the statewide elections? There's just names and nobody knows them to a point. And some I've had to look up myself because we had other people we thought were going to run for these positions, and then they switched and did something else. So it's kind of threw everything up in the air a little bit, but there is the better candidate in each one of these. So we're going to talk a little bit, and you give me insight on what you know. I'll try to give my insight on what I know. But, I think it's going to be interesting to see what happens tomorrow. And I don't think Donald Trump's going to be a surprise. Do you have anybody else on your bingo card for president?
No, I think that one's pretty decided. In the Republican primary, I believe Donald Trump walks away with it, right? And, of course, to be expected since, the only one really still running is Nikki Haley. And given that she's only won the District of Columbia, which is not exactly a traditional base of Republicans, I think we're going to be okay. Look, and I like Nikki Haley prior too, but I mean, at some point, just, stop. It's a little embarrassing. And just because somebody's paying you to do something doesn't mean you have to do it. But after that, and for those in Lincoln County that are looking for a ballot, or if you just want to know what Jason Sain thinks, you can go to Jason Sain or JasonPicks.com, JasonPicks.com. I don't have a local ballot for following counties, but I've got Lincoln, right? I've got don't have Iredell. Sorry, Jeff.
That's fine. I'll talk. You know the players kind of. I'll talk about that a little bit near the end. We won't get too far,
sure.
but we'll state ballots looking the same everywhere we go, pretty much. So it's looking the same in your district as it is in mine.
Yeah. So you've got basically the same. So if you don't know if you know your local stuff, but you don't know the statewide stuff, JasonPicks.com can get you there. I do that every year just because somebody will inevitably ask me, and then 20 more people will ask me, "Hey, what are your thoughts?" And I always say, "Hey, these are my thoughts. Don't have to be yours. Don't get mad at me if I didn't agree with your candidate and back them." That's the beauty of the system we've got. But, the big thing I think in our listening area, the big race is House District 10, the congressional race. And our great friend, Gray Mills, is by far my choice. Don't apologize for that. Gray's been a longtime friend and is my seatmate in Raleigh and fought in the conservative movement. And I knew him through volunteering with Senator Jesse Helms. And, somebody called him the establishment the other day, and I said, that's right. He's established himself as a conservative. That's a great place to be. And he's got a voting record that you can go check. So that race, we've got some other folks there. I know you've got a couple, or at least one person from Iredell County running. There's someone from, I think he's saying he's from Catawba County this week. But my pick's Gray Mills there. And then governor.
Yeah. Let me concur with you. I agree, Gray. I think we'll do a fantastic job. I've known Gray for, 20 years now or more. Worked in the Iredell County Party. I'm pretty sure our chairman. I'm about positive of that for 1 or 2 years.
He was.
Yeah, done great work. And here's something, and maybe this is shame on me. A lot of local bills come through, Jason, and when somebody wants to put a tax on theirself or do something to theirself, I pretty much say, okay, that's your red wagon. I'll vote for yours. I need you may someday to vote for mine. But now Gray is determined whenever there's any kind of a tax increase, I don't care if it's a local bill and somebody really needs to go, he votes no. He does. Maybe I should. I usually just let people do what they want to themselves and move on down there. But Gray's always voted no on any kind of tax increase.
Well, and I appreciate the stance there. And I'm like you. Hey, not my circus, not my monkey. If you want to own that and your people have asked for it,
yep.
I'm not going to get in your local business, right? But don't get in my local business, either, right?
Exactly.
I try to do what my city council folks ask, what my county commissioners ask, what my school board asks when they approach me as a legislator, because I'm simply passing along the message, and I'm the vessel for them to go through. But but I get why Gray would do that, just because he's just so opposed to it, and so I totally understand.
Yeah, well, I hope
and good for him.
Take that attitude to D.C. Vote no on all the other tax increases and all the other crap that happens up there. My Lord help us. Anyway, but yeah, all right.
Well, vote no on most things that come out of D.C. is probably a good policy.
You can always come back from no. You can always come back from no. Yes, you're doomed, but no, you can always come back from. Now, we may differ or we may not. I know we've talked a lot. And, folks, I'm going to tell you, we have not planned this. We have not rehearsed it. We like it this way, chaos. But anyway, it's always interesting. What's your pick? Who you think you're going to go with on governor?
Here's the deal. I know all three gentlemen running on the Republican primary.
Mm-hmm.
I have watched, all three as this has developed. I've known Dale Falwell, served with him in the House. Know Lieutenant Governor Mark Robinson. On my ballot, if you go to jasonpicks.com, it's up to you. You pick it. I could live with whoever you pick, whoever gets the nomination. Now, I will tell you, I believe that Mark Robinson wins.
Mm-hmm.
Every poll I've seen that, when we've been in, individual legislative districts, he looks like the front runner. All the polling has said he's the front runner. I think Dale has surged some in the last bit, but then I saw another poll this morning when I got up that said Bill Graham is doing better. So I just say, hey, whoever that is, that's who we're going to run with, and I'm good to go, because I don't want to disparage anybody by picking in that race, and it's a little hard to do, but I think all three, any of the three, would be better than our current situation. So I'll leave it at that.
That's like being the tallest midget. That's not making a great statement there. So anyway, been better than what we got. I will tell you this much. This is what I've told everybody. Dale Falwell, smartest guy in the race. Smartest guy. He is. He's smart, CPA, done a great job as treasurer. I don't know, and I like Dale a lot. And none of these things are personal. I'm not taking anything, not trying to be personal on nobody. Sure. I just don't know if Dale has the oomph, to get there. And now Bill Graham, I have a problem with him. He was his firm and him were the ones that represented the two firms, one from Texas, one from New York State, that went after our hog farmers. They needed somebody here of precedence, and so they didn't have standing, so they had to have somebody bring it. He brought it. He got a heck of a payday. That's how he can afford TV commercials. They still lost the hog farm. The 6 hog farms they sued won the case, but 4 of them eventually went out of business over the last year or two because of the legal expenses they had. There's just not enough money made in farming to take on a 6-digit legal fee that each one of them's encumbered from this, even though they won, which we fixed in our Farm Act that we did, that if you sue a farmer now for nuisance and you lose, you pay his lawyer bill. So we hope that'll help the ones going forward and maybe prevent. So I have a little burr in my saddle with Bill Graham. And so I'm definitely a Mark Robinson man, because I think he's the only one that can beat Josh Stein, who I feel like will win the other side. And at the end of the day, I'm just taking whoever can beat Josh Stein and get us something to work with in the governor's office, because we hadn't had that in the last almost 8 years now.
Well, fair enough. And you know what I always say about trial lawyers: they don't make the products you buy; they make the products you buy more expensive.
Exactly.
So, but like I say, not a bad person. We disagree on that issue, and we'll move on. But and look, there's always going to be, and when you've got a Republican primary, I mean, the good news is the Republican Party's healthy. We're building a bunch of candidates, right? You get to the lieutenant governor's race. We've got Jeffrey Elmore, who you and I served with, who I think a lot of.
Good dude.
I've known Hal Weatherman for years. Think a lot of Hal. And then Deanna Ballack, who her parents are my constituents, and she's been a longtime friend. She was in the Senate. Jeffrey's in the House, and then there's other men and women who are on that ballot who I like. I mean, it's really tough to choose. So I kind of go along the same lines of, well, who's gonna be strong against Rachel Hunt, so I think all three of them would be strong. I lean just a little bit toward Deanna, but I mean, that's not saying anything bad about anybody else. And I know Jim O'Neill, good prosecutor.
He is.
I didn't know Seth Woodall, but I've heard great things about him. So there's lots to pick from, but that's who I think probably the front runners are, at least. And then you look at the auditor's race. Kind of same thing there. I've got for Jeff Hart, I've endorsed because he's a dear, close personal friend. Worked with him in the Senate. He and I co-chaired IT at Preps together. But like Dave Bullock and like Jack Clark works for, or has worked for,
Kyle
one
Hall.
of our colleagues. So
yeah,
Kyle Hall. So there's another one. And look, when I say that, I'm not saying anything bad about the other three running. Right?
Yeah.
So it's a matter of who you like, and who you know. always encourage people to do their research.
Yeah, we got about 30 seconds. Got to take that hard break and pay bills. But we'll go back Lieutenant Governor race. For me, I'm a Jeff Elmore fan. That job entails being on the state school board with a vote, actually, and also on the community college board, and he knows education. And, we're going to miss him, Jason. He wrote a lot of our education policy in the House. We're going to miss him. All right, we got to go and take a break here, so hang with me, Brother Sane, and we'll be back, and we'll talk more. All right.
Keep it right here. Taking Care of Iredell with NC Representative Jeff McNeely will return after this short break on 105.9, 100.7 WSIC.
Well, a couple more dry days to help soak up some of.
Hey, you there?
Yes, sir.
All right. Hey, I don't know much about Andrew Marcus, but you kind of told me that. I know Robert's, bless him. He's just getting a little too far along in the tooth, and of course Causey. But how much do you know about Andrew? Because I'm going to let you probably lead on that one. I've heard he's a firefighter.
I know a pretty good bit about him, so I'm comfortable talking about it.
Yeah. All right. I'm going to probably let you lead on, because I know he's actually, I think he's trial lawyer now, but he was like an insurance claims lawyer thing where he went and tried to make sure there wasn't, abuse of the insurance companies.
Well, he worked in Florida he worked in Florida with the department down there, so he's got experience in it.
Yeah, all those disasters. Yeah.
Means a lot.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. All right. Just hold tight with me. We'll be right back. Just hold tight. All right.
Sure.
Morning to Good Morning LKN for your chance to win tickets. Coin collectors, get ready. The Statesville Coin and Currency Show is coming to the Statesville Civic Center March 16th and 17th, featuring over 60 tables of some of the finest coins around. For more info, contact Bill Brewer of Carolina Prospectors in Statesville. The Statesville Coin and Currency Show, Statesville Civic Center, March 16th and 17th. Eagle Rentals in Statesville is celebrating you and the wonderful community they serve. Come to Eagle Rentals Customer Appreciation Day, March 16th from noon until 4 p.m. Fun for the whole family. Kids and adults are welcome. Eagle Rentals Customer Appreciation Day, March 16th, 3435 East Broad Street in Statesville. Want to see a Tyrannosaurus Rex? How about a Triceratops? Dinosaur World Live is coming to Kane Center for the Arts, Friday, March 29th. That's not the only fun family adventure coming to the Kane Center for the Arts. Dinosaur World Live, Friday, March 29th. For tickets and to see the entire spring lineup, visit canearts.org. That's CAIN arts.org. Have an event you would like to tell people about? Yard sales, estate sales, and everything in between? Visit WSICnews.com and click on events to submit your event today.
Now back to more Taking Care of Iredell with your host, NC Representative Jeff Lee on 105.9, 100.7 WSIC.
All right, back here for the last part of the show. Got Representative Jason Sane from Lincoln County on here, the great prognosticator who has a website even with his own picks on it. So, Jason, are you with me?
I am with you, sir. I mean, I do have my own little picks there, just in case somebody wants to know what it is that I'm thinking, because I get that a lot. When you've been in office for a long time, they say, hey, you know a lot about these folks, so tell us about them. So I do a little prognosticating myself and put it on there. But always tell people, do your own research, pick who you want to pick.
That's right.
It's the beauty of this country. Do your thing. So.
Well, folks, I
do appreciate you recognizing me being the great prognosticator.
That's right. That's right.
Look, may a love-starved fruit fly molest your sister's nectar. So there you
go. Well, you know what? You've told it right to me many times in the NCGA. Many times you said, keep your head down, keep your mouth shut. This is going to work out. I said, okay. So I'll listen best I can. It's not easy. But anyway, hey, get back a little bit to the auditor. Yeah, I know, it's just who I am. Get back to the North Carolina auditor thing. Now, I know you went after Tart, and I'm kind of a Jack Clark man. I've got to know Jack over the last couple of years, working with him kind of. Tart's probably going to get it. Jeff's a good guy. I know him. Jeff's got financing. if it's nobody but his own, he can write the check. Haven't seen much. I thought I may see more, but the auditor's one of those not flashy positions, so you don't see a lot of auditor commercials. But maybe just in the bigger markets, and that's what's going on. All right, we'll jump down. We'll talk just briefly. North Carolina Commissioner of Agriculture and
Steve Troxler. I don't know the other fellow. I'm sure he's fine. But Steve Troxler's a known quantity, right? You maybe know more than I do. That's your wheelhouse.
It is, and I've talked with Colby Hammonds, and seems like a nice guy. Military background, also farming too, though. Has a cow-calf operation, so he gets out. We talked some about the issues. I think there's a learning curve there, and this is one of the largest departments that we actually have in our state, North Carolina State Government, Department of Agriculture, about 22 or 2,400 people. They'd love to have about another 500 if they could afford to hire them and find them. So a big department. Troxler, this is going on. He's been there 20 years. This is going for his next 4-year term, be 24 years. He knows it. Sometimes we and him bump heads. We do. But at the end of the day, Steve Troxler knows North Carolina agriculture, and he's the best pick. Have no problem with the other man. I appreciate anybody throwing their hat in the ring. It's just experience always seems to win in these situations, and Troxler's done a good job. We got to keep him in. I think he knows where all the players are at. So I think that's pretty much said and done.
Well, I mean, it matters, and having some experience is not a bad thing.
No.
And he's definitely got that.
Yeah.
So next on your ballot, if you're going down playing the home game, Commissioner of Insurance. Now that's one that means a lot because I'm a volunteer firefighter, at least was before I started not being able to go to class anymore because I was stuck in Raleigh, but I've got a degree in fire science, and so that matters when you're talking about insurance. And we have separated that out from the taking some of the politics out of that. So the fire marshal is not serving at the whim of the insurance commissioner, because it seems like our current insurance commissioner got into a little bit of hot water there, and which was a shame because we've known him a year, but for years, and it seems like he just can't get out of his own way. So he's not my pick. My pick's Andrew Marcus. And Andrew's a volunteer firefighter, an attorney, but he also has a lot of experience in what the office calls for. He was down in Florida working in the Commissioner of Insurance office down there. He's from here and had moved down there for a while, but back, and he's in private practice now. But he's, I think, very capable and has the background to do the job. I think that's important, and that's why I'm back.
And I think he's a good pick. Robert Brawley, he's an Iredell County guy. Known Robert forever. Good man. Robert's getting on up there. He's probably about 85. He doesn't really look it. But it's going to be hard. This doesn't have the oomph, I think, to get this done. And so I'm thinking Marcus is the best one right now. Commissioner of Labor, I think John Hardester. How do you feel?
You got my pick there. I mean, that's we serve with John. He knows the job forward and backwards. I think he'll do a great job at it. And again, not talking trash about any of the other folks.
Oh yeah,
Hardshire's just my guy.
Yep. Mine too. Now, Secretary of State. This is tough. A lot of unknowns here, but Jesse Thomas can get across the aisle possibly. Who's your pick there?
So that's another one that we've got good candidates from everything I've heard people who spoke about them or if I've had a chance to meet them. I know Chad Brown personally because he's from Gaston, been a Gaston County Commissioner, longtime friend. Quite frankly, you need somebody who understands business, and that's he's done that. But I think the other two do as well. Just I know Chad Brown. He's the third one down. I mean, that's his little catchphrase as he goes in front of folks, and I guess that matters because. When you look at that Secretary of State, people don't necessarily think about that when they go into the voting booth. So I think you can't go wrong from what I've seen from the folks who are on the ballot there. But Chad Brown's my guy.
Okay, and that's cool. And I looked at Thomas. He's got a good track record. I'm going to pronounce her wrong, Vilvadaria. She seems to be super conservative. She's working the MAGA hard. So this is one of those that's a toss-up. I'm Thomas, you're Brown, and I know Chad, and I like Chad. Just trying to figure out somebody that can finally replace Elaine Marshall and beat her. She's been there since the beginning of time. So I think it's time for new blood.
And she's going to be tough to beat.
Oh,
no,
yeah.
You're right. She's going to be tough to beat because everybody knows the name.
Yeah.
So,
been there for
yeah. So, but fingers crossed, maybe this is the time.
I hope.
Next up,
Red Wave. What do you think? All right, you got the superintendent of public instruction, new lady Michelle Marr. She's playing the MAGA card. She's playing real conservative. Catherine Truitt. What's your pick there?
Catherine Truitt, and I've endorsed Catherine Truitt. If folks want to go on and read a bunch of crazy mess online that is unsubstantiated and not true, and here's my deal, right? I don't understand how you go and pick fights with everybody who's going to be voting in a primary, and then think they're going to come vote for you. That's a weird strategy.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's a bold strategy, Cotton. I just don't understand it.
Let's see how that works out for them.
Right, but they come after me. They came after Vicky Sawyer, Aaron Paray. I mean, turns out we actually have been elected in our districts, and people do support us. Probably not the best strategy to try to get elected, but nevertheless, as I read more about Michelle Morrow, she doesn't have kids in public schools. Not that that's a requirement, because it's not. She had a failed run for Wake County School Board there as well. From what I understand, and look, and she might be nice enough, but her minions out there like to go on the attack. I don't understand it, don't get it. That's their business. But Catherine Truitt is a known quantity. She's been good to work with. She has worked through a lot of the obstacles that are thrown in front of her because of the state school board that is dominated by a Cooper appointee. So I think that's probably our best bet.
I think a lot of people they've blamed Catherine for this, that, and the other thing, and it's the state school board. She doesn't even have a vote on a state school board. June Atkins, that's when the Democrats just killed that position, took all the power away from it, and that may be our job to put it back in if we can sustain getting a Republican in there. For a long time when we could have done it, we didn't want the person there to get any more power. So now Catherine's there, and I heard Michelle Morrow kind of went and got into like a heckling fight with her or whatever at the Johnston County Women's. I don't even know why she would be there if Catherine's speaking. Crazy. We'll just move on. Let's move on down to treasurer.
Sure. Yeah. I've had enough of crazy today.
That's right.
So into the treasurer's race. Again, bunch of friends here.
Yeah.
The only one I don't know personally is Brad Briner or maybe Brenner, and I've heard things that he worked for Bloomberg, but just because a guy worked for a financial industry doesn't make him Bloomberg's minion, right? So I don't buy that. What I've read about him seems like a solid guy. I know AJ Dow personally, good friend, has been a longtime friend. And then Rachel Johnson. I know Rachel. I know her husband Mark. Mark was the superintendent of public instruction.
Yep.
Yep. So again, I think it's one of those. I'll make up my mind when I walk into the voting booth, and it might be any, mini, miny, mo, and that's a heck of a way to pick. But it's hard to pick between friends when they're there on the ballot. Maybe you've got some clear light on that one, but I don't.
Well, I think if you look at him, I think Brenner's got more of the idea of investment, and that's all I'm going to say. He managed a huge money. You can love him, hate him, probably made him money. But we're getting close to running out of time. We got about another minute to get it done here. So let's jump down. We'll just talk North Carolina Court of Appeals judge. You got Chris Friedman. I know Chris, good guy. And I don't know Hunter well, but I do know him pretty good. I know he's very conservative. Which one do you like there?
Again, I think you have to flip a coin. I think you've got two conservative judges that are running, that have good legal minds, and make a choice. I know Hunter, don't know Chris, but hear good things about Chris.
Yeah. So, I mean, good people. We got good people on the ballot, folks. Some places you can't go too bad wrong, but then there's others where we need to make sure. And, real quick, if Bradford would have stayed in at the treasurer side, that would have been a hands down, in my opinion. But that didn't happen. Didn't happen. So, anyway, we're running out of time. Jason, I appreciate you giving us your input, and it's jasonspicks.com, correct?
And good luck to you tomorrow. You're my pick in Iredell. Love you, man. Mean it. Good luck to you.
All right, I appreciate that, brother. I appreciate it. All right, take care. We'll talk to you later. See you. All right, folks, we're going to go ahead and do our prayer here. Dear Heavenly Father, dear Lord, tomorrow is a big day, and I pray your will will be done. And I pray, dear Lord, that you lead and guide us in tomorrow, and that at the end of the day, we show brotherly love to each other. Just be with us. In Jesus Christ's name, amen. Amen. All right, till next week, take care.
You've been listening to North Carolina Representative Jeff McNeely. Join Jeff again next Monday morning at 11:05 for Taking Care of Iredell on News Talk WSIC.
Serving you better than ever before. 105.9, 100.7 WSIC, Statesville, Morrisville, North Charlotte.